Good evening, it's Shane Hutton back again. It's evening here and I'm over in my garage making another video for a post. It's interesting, you talk to young people. I was actually with my nephews tonight and I had a word with them, and they had been looking at what I've been doing online. And my nephew said to me, Uncle, you need to do a video and tell people about yourself, because that's how you get credibility. And so I thought to myself, well, yeah, this is a young person's world. They actually know what they're talking about. I probably should. I've written about it, but I've never really talked about it. So I thought, well, I'm sitting here. I got another 6 hours before webinar, 3 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to have a snooze. But before I have a snooze, I'm going to do a post. I'm going to send it out to you so you know who I am instead of having to read it. So, who am I? Well, if you go to my blog and you read about it, it'll say something like, who am I reads like a film title, Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy. I'm none of those. And in my time, my lifetime, I've been a few things: a builder, a draftsman, an architect, a barrister at law, and now an internet marketer. And how did I get there? Actually, if you want to read about that stuff, you go to my blog. It's actually a bit more wordy, a bit more windy, but yeah, it's in there. But the bit I really wanted to talk about is how I got to where I am right now. And in my last days of being a lawyer, I wanted to spend a bit of time with my father. Yeah, I've still got a father. He's in his 70s. And I thought to myself, come on, Dad, let's head off and let's do a bit of study together. So we shot into one of the unis here, and we were doing a couple of papers on globalisation and international trade. And amazing, blimey amazing, businesses that run 24/7 globally. And man, that struck a bell with me, because I was working like a dog, 80 hours plus. And yep, big money for a while, big money, but a business that ran 24/7, boy, yeah, that sounded pretty good. So that sort of sparked my interest in this whole internet thing. And things got pretty tough in my last years as a lawyer, and I thought to myself, nah, bugger it, I've had enough, I'm going to go and do something else. So I said to my wife, I'm going to become because I'm pretty good at writing stuff, well, I thought it was, I'm going to become an international author, and I'm going to also write children's books, and I love graphics, so I'm going to draw stuff as well. And I'm going to do that on Amazon, because that's where the money's to be made. So, it's a mate of mine. And so, this is what I did. I enrolled in a membership site, and I learned everything in the first 6 months, everything about setting up websites, traffic, squeeze pages, thank you pages, a whole lot of other things. And they had done for you stuff, and I looked at this one thing, and it was actually about Amazon, programmed to actually make books, sell books on Amazon. And so I thought to myself, shit, I can't do that unless I know what that product's about. I can't sell it. So I opted into that, and spent more money I didn't have, and bam, a couple of months later, man, I didn't like the product. I didn't think it was that great, but I'd spent quite a bit of money on it. And so I got to the end of that, and I was just sort of ticking over, trying to get a website up and running, and it wasn't doing what it was meant to do, and there wasn't anybody coming to it, and I was really busy. I was really busy doing heaps of stuff, but nobody coming to it, nothing much to show for it. So after a year, I had spent quite a bit of money. I won't tell you how much, and I had nothing to show for it. And every day I looked real busy, but at the end of the day, I wasn't taking action. I wasn't doing anything positive to sort of move in the right direction, And so when I got to the 12-month mark, it wasn't great. It just wasn't great. So we go through that year. So I've gone a year with no money. Go into the next year. Wife doing great, supporting me no end, believes in me 100%. Thank God for that. And so we get into the second year, and I've got hundreds upon hundreds of emails stored in my Gmail account. Every day I have at least 100 that I go through, and I delete most of them. Well, there's this one day, a man called Jonathan, a spammer, he sends me an email, and normally I haven't unsubscribed, and normally I delete all of his emails, but I saw this one email and the word coach stood out. It was in the first couple of words. And I thought to myself, oh, shit, I'll just click on that. So I clicked on it and it said $47, 3-week coaching, traffic in 28 days. And so it just happened that I wanted a coach and I wanted traffic, because that's one of the phases that I was in. I was trying to learn how to generate traffic, because without that I was done. And so I clicked on it, and lo and behold, a young man called Dean Holland comes up on the screen, blah blah, does the video, the hype and the stuff like that. And to be honest, I actually wasn't that impressed, but for $47 I thought, far out, man, that's the cheapest coaching that I'm ever going to get, and that's about all I have at the moment. And so I put it on the visa, and again, I have to admit at this stage, 15 months in, man, I was hiding my bills. I was hiding everything from my wife because I didn't want her to know that I was spending much. So I was sort of, moving everything around and doing the right things. And so I opted in for this course, pretty hesitant. We get into it, the webinars, starting staff, and bam, it worked. The first time I've ever bought something and it's worked. I can't tell you how elated I am about it. If you've seen any of my videos, you'll know that I'm absolutely excited about what I've done, and I can actually see a future. Thank God, again I say that, because I've only got another 8 months to go before I said to my wife I'll go back and get a job and crack it out that way. So yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised, as I said, but pleasantly surprised doesn't even half crack it, because I got my blog up and running in the time, the 3-week coaching course time that we were allocated, and within 43 days I had 3,258 people visiting my Google Plus account, and because I had set up a whole lot of social networks as well, so I am absolutely stoked. Now, if my nephews see this video, I'm hoping it helps. And if anybody else sees it, hopefully it lets you know who I am. I'm an oldie who's gone through some pretty tough times, pretty desperate times, but I'm sure other people have too. And I've been working at trying to get to understand this this internet thing, and to learn how to use it and learn how to communicate with people, because my generation, we just go and do work, and we put our head down and we go, and we don't sort of hey, how you doing, can I help you thing. It's like, hey, we focus on one thing, we get it done, we're busy, we go home, we sleep. And so I'm learning lots. And I'm learning to slow down. I'm learning to talk to people, to get to understand them, to get to help them, which is what I've done over the last 5 to 6 weeks. I'm doing a blog, Simple Times blog, at this URL, and I'm putting out things that will help other people like me in my same position. Maybe it's financial hardship, or maybe it's knowledge hardship, where we're old and it's a bit, I was going to swear, it's a bit scary, and doing this sort of stuff. And so yeah, I've learned how to do it, basically, and so I can help. And I have to say, YouTube and all these other things, I've been on there, and there are young kids on there who are willing to help and do the same thing. So it's been pretty awesome. The last 15 months have been pretty awesome. I'm not going to rattle on any longer. I'm going to shut this video down, and then I'm going to post it out there. I'm going to run it past my nephews too to see if they think it's half decent. So thank you for listening to me. Wonderful to be here. Looking forward to doing more. See you later. Bye. Hope it helps.